global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello fam, welcome back to our channel. The issue of corruption, the ongoing corruption allegations and corruption that has taken place in NDDC and still is under investigation has adverse effects not just on Nigerians or the economy of Niger Deltans and Nigeria as a whole, but also on Nigerian students who actually are benefiting from the scholarship program, and they have taken to the streets to protest over the issues, the ills, and every other thing that's affected them in diaspora. But before we go straight into the news and further analysis, we do love you to subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so by clicking on the red subscribe button and the bell notification icon below to get notified, and also subscribe as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. The Nigerian student who benefited from the scholarship program by the Niger Delta Development Commission held a protest in the United Kingdom to demand immediate payment of their tuition and other fees by the commission. After all, they actually stole it in billions. Let's continue. The 2018 and 2019 scholars lamented that they have been abandoned by the government and left to survive in foreign countries without necessary allowance paid by the NDDC. They also revealed that the commission had failed to process and release their tuition, which had led to the ejection and warning to cancel their scholarship programs. The scholars picketed the Nigerian High Commission London to make known their anger to the government. In a Save Our Soul letter to the President Muhammad Buhari by the scholars, the 2018 beneficiaries of NDDC said that despite promises by the NDDC to pay the scholarship tuition fee but the commission did not do so. Your Excellency, it says, we have continually been harassed by a series of letters from our institutions threatening to withdraw their services. Some students have not been very lucky, as the responsibility for the payment of their tuition has been transferred to them with strict timelines and conditions. For over 10 months, scholars have been subjected to all kinds of dehumanizing challenges, now compounded by the global COVID-19 pandemic. Scholars now struggle to feed themselves, pay for accommodation, and bills. Since the pandemic and subsequent global lockdown, the part-time jobs that many engaged in for survival have all been lost. We are now losing focus, depressed, due to the fear of being evicted from our schools and subsequent deportation. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir, it is important to add that while the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, PTDF, ensures that their scholars' tuition and upkeep are paid as at when due, NDDC has abandoned its scholars, bringing the name of our dear country to great disrepute and dishonor before our schools. The letter jointly sent by the scholars to the President Buhari reads in part: they demand that President Buhari prevail on the management of NDDC to respond to emails from our respective schools, as they are at the verge of terminating the admission of most students and are beginning to question the authenticity of our certificate of award. Effect the payment of our tuition and upkeep allowance as soon as possible, and ensure that the Central Bank of Nigeria implement the same foreign exchange rate applicable to the recent 2019 awardee, as there exists a discrepancy on our NDDC scholarship online portal with no tangible reason given. Ensure that all 2018 and 2019 awardees are paid at the same time and not in batches. That's the news. And these are the scholars talking all the way from United Kingdom. They have taken to the street. They are lamenting while we are here deliberating and seeing the amount in billions looted in barely 3 months in office. This is really disheartening and it's pathetic. But we'll quickly feel the pulse of Nigerians over this, because definitely Nigerians will react to this. I don't know why our politicians keep doing this to Nigerians, keep doing this to the citizens. They just pocketing this whole money, even for students in diaspora, even for scholars, those in scholarship. Please, let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this, then we'll come back for proper analysis. This one here is saying these NDDC guys are wicked. Oh. Would they have left their own children to suffer like that? The money is there, but then why hoard it? It was last month thereabout they paid us 10k transport allowance to some of us that attended the 2018 scholarship interview. And that's simply because they perceived this probe, so at least they could say we channeled so and so amount for this. Physical wickedness in high places. This one here is saying this is very shameful. Even Buhari will be in shock. Meanwhile, a whopping sum of 15 trillion naira has gone to NDDC since inception, but with little or nothing to show for it. The people from the region need to start holding their leaders and representatives accountable instead of always seeing Buhari, Tinubu, Ganduje as the source of their problem. This one here is saying best thing for them to do, because that drama going on at National Assembly, them go sweep them under carpet like Gandola video. This one here is saying Oromborobo Egun Alare. I don't know what that means, but I guess that should be Yoruba. This one here say this is unfair. My roommate was a beneficiary and he practically would have to call again and again before they remit the money. I suspect some top officials use the money to get interest before remitting to the beneficiaries. This one here is saying, must every public office holder project hopelessness to those they are meant to serve their interest? That's a question for another day. This one here is saying, this government is really careless. This one here is saying, just imagine awarding scholarships without the necessary structures in place to properly disburse funds. They're actually structures. They just decided not to let it go. They decided not to allow the process to flow. They only hoarded the money. The structures have been there for years. They just refused to allow the money to flow. He said when they asked these people in charge to account for the money, they will start slumbering and fainting. My brother, you have seen it all. This one here is saying, I pity government beneficiaries. Waiting, oh dear. This one here is saying, but why always Nigerians? Are you guys the only people in this world? It's not really our problem. It's the case of bad leadership, if you ask me. Let's continue. This one here is saying, I'm beginning to believe that granting southern Nigerians a separate country will be to the disadvantage of southerners as well. It's different. The southerners are terrible to her people. Most times, we wish Britain had not handed Nigerian to Nigerians. It might be worse when southern secession is granted to southerners. I don't think so. This corruption is not just on southerners alone. Go and ask northerners too. They have. How come that in the north, where we have leadership, power, yet the north seem to be the least developed? Just fairly recently, they started channeling some of the resource, what's it called, basic amenities down to the north. Before now, the roads are good, yes, but the core northerners are just, I guess they're contented people, I don't know, but looking at the way their leaders are even doing it, you just find out that this whole corruption thing is not just for the southern part, it's a system error. Nigeria is operating on system error, corruption, system problem. So it's not just that there's probably southerners have decided to warm up to show every other person that this thing too can play the game of corruption. But let's continue. This one here is saying, I'm just tired of Nigeria. Oh well, I don't know if you're tired, but I believe that this country belongs to us all, and we must no foreigner will come and fight this battle for you. We all are into this. We need to find a lasting solution to this. Find a way of correcting this mess we have allowed to brew. Little quietness here, a little sleep there, and this is where it has gotten Nigeria to. If as at when do Nigerian youth woke up when they were supposed to wake up, the level of impunity and corruption and looting wouldn't have gotten to this hike. At the beginning it was in hundreds. After a while it moved to thousands. After the war became millions, people started shouting, "This is the worst of." Now it's now in billions. The next one will be in trillions. So what are we talking about? So if we do not do something now, I'm afraid we're looking at the carcass of Nigeria if we don't redeem Nigeria now. I'm talking about looted funds should not be on. We should not do media trial alone. Those found guilty should actually go to jail. I don't know why we keep doing this. We'll find people guilty, we play around the words, we'll do media trial, we speak our mind, and after a while, those people are walking the street free with the looted money intact. Sometimes they'll say they have recovered, and some recover the looted money. We don't even know what it goes into. It just gets re-looted. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. What's your take on this? Because while we are still probing and finding who stole what in the National Assembly and the House of Rep, the Nigerians in diaspora who are on scholarship are lamenting and they're about to lose their admission if something is not done fast. I think you should look into that very quickly so that these guys won't be stranded. Let's meet in our comment section. Let's interact. What's your take on this? Don't also forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more of this.